Hey everybody, I'm here today to tell you about a couple of things. First of all, I'm going to be having a New Year's sale, a Chinese New Year's sale on my classes, and so they'll be less, $16 an hour, only on Calendly, and I'll put the link below if you don't know where to go for my classes. I'd also like to explain my group classes. The theme that we're going to discuss this week is working conditions, and we're going to be focusing on comparisons. So if you can think about working conditions either in two countries that you would like to compare, or if you have different aspects of working conditions in your country that you'd like to compare. For example, maybe you'd like to compare the working conditions between blue collar and white collar workers. Or maybe you'd like to compare the working conditions between men and women, or women with children and single women. It's really up to you. Maybe you'd also like to play around with some verb tenses here during the class and think about how working conditions were 40 years ago and how they are now, or something along these lines. We're going to be using comparisons, so I'd like to hear as adjective as, right? Though working days aren't as long as they used to be. We can use than, such as the working day now is shorter than it was 40 years ago. There are also comparative adjectives that we can use, and when you go onto the booking page on Calendly, you will see to the left of the calendar there's a full description of what I'm looking for in the group class this week, and also there are links there if you want to review. I highly recommend reviewing, of course. What will happen is I hope to have 4 students in the class, and each student will take their turn with a 3 to 5 minute presentation about this. And you're going to be comparing 2 things, so 3 to 5 minutes really isn't that much time, especially if you're well prepared. Don't write your speech and read it. That's not helpful. But do have some notes. Think about what kind of vocabulary you want to use. Maybe it's vocabulary from a current lesson that we're taking. That's up to you. While the other students are giving their presentations, you will be listening and taking notes. We're going to practice note-taking. At the end, we'll compare notes and talk about note-taking skills. I know this is really important. A lot of my professional students are in meetings all day, and if you have to listen to English all day, it's very tiring, I know. But it's a good idea to practice taking notes, and that's one of our goals. The other part of being an active listener is thinking about what the other student did well and something that they need to work on. I'd also like each student to prepare a question for the student presenting. I think it's really important to practice question formation. I know that's really hard for some of my students, but we're all here to support each other and ask questions and have an opportunity to answer those questions as well if you're the presenter. These classes are a lot of fun. It's so much fun for me to get my students together, to see how you guys interact, to hear you mention each other's names. It just makes me feel like we have a little family going on. So feel free to join me in those group classes. Again, the link is below. And don't forget, on Calendly, January 31st through February 2nd, we'll be having a great Chinese New Year sale on classes. You can take the classes at any time. You have to book them and schedule them. But Calendly, it's very easy to change the classes. and your time. It's a very flexible application. If you have any questions, please contact me. I'd love to hear from you directly, and I wish you the best. Hope to see you in class this Saturday.